Today on the channel, I'm going to show you how to prep, paint, and blend this entire hood just like a pro. So typically I like to blend a panel when it's on the vehicle, but because of the circumstances, I wasn't able to do that when I painted the fender on this Jeep Renegade. So today we're going to blend into this hood and then clear the entire thing, and I'm going to show you how we're going to do that and what steps it's going to take to do that. So the first thing we need to do, and I've already done it, is I've prepped out this panel for paint. I've repaired a small dent in the corner of this hood. That's all been repaired. You can see where the primered spot is there. So the next step to do would be to wet sand this hood and get it ready for paint. We're going to use some 600 grit wet dry paper to sand this, and I've already done this. If you're not familiar with this process, stay tuned to the end. There'll be a video you can click on and see everything you need to know about wet sanding, imperfections, and getting something prepped for paint. Now I'm going to wipe down this hood with some automotive wax and grease remover. This is going to remove any contaminants that are left on the surface of this panel. This will eliminate any reaction to the new paint or clear coat. So as you can see, I've already went around and I've taped off the edge of this hood with some paper to eliminate any overspray from the underside of this hood. Listen up. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel at the end of this video. I've got a lot of great content on this channel, and I really want to help you out with your project. So now that we've got this hood clean, we're going to go ahead and tack it off. I've got my Crystal Bay tack cloth here. We're going to wipe it down. This is going to remove any lint or particles that are on the vehicle, and I suggest you do this right before you paint. I'm going ahead and doing it right now, and I'll probably do it again just before I spray. So now that we're getting ready to spray, we're going to adjust our gun. We're going to open the fan pattern wide open. I'm going to do 2 turns out on the volume. That's the second knob there from the top. And then we're going to adjust our air pressure to, I don't need a lot of air pressure because right now I'm just going to put color on that primered area. So I'm probably going to adjust my air pressure here to about 20 psi. And we're going to go ahead and lightly just start coating this primer. We're going to just get it covered for the first coat and then let it flash off into a second. So I'm also going to come over here and hit a little area that had a little burn mark in it and get that covered. And then I'm going to come back and do my blend. Now this is a black metallic finish. The color is going to probably match pretty perfect no matter what I do. But for this purpose, I want to show you how we blend. And what I'm going to do is put a couple coats right on the edge and let that flow over. So one thing I do want to mention here is on this particular color, I'm not using a blending agent. If you were painting a hood that was a high metallic finish, like a silver or a gold or something with a lot of metallic, you would definitely want to put a blending agent over this entire panel, okay? And what that blending agent does, it is basically just binder, and it allows the metallics to land in that blending agent and lay down flat, okay? If they don't, and you don't use a blending agent, there's a chance of a dry area and those metallics standing up on edge, and then when you go to clear coat it, it's going to give you like a modeling finish where there's different metallics laying different directions. So a blending agent, if you're using high metallic paint like silver or gold, is necessary. Now on this it's not, on solid colors it's not. Okay, so I want you to notice how I'm blending. I'm starting towards the middle of the panel and I'm turning my wrist to the edge of the panel. So I blend from the middle out, and that's what you want to do when you're blending. It's going to give you a nice even finish. You want to overlap 50% at least and blend towards the edge. That's the key. This is the technique that I've always used and I've used for 30 plus years. A lot of other painters, they'd have different techniques and everybody has their own way of doing it, but this is what I found works the best. It's not so crucial on a black or a solid color, but it's very crucial on a high metallic like a gold or a silver. Okay, so we're going to continue to blend this edge of this hood, and it's probably blended by now, but I'm just going over it one final time just to make sure everything looks uniform and we're not going to have any issues. Okay, so we're going to tack it off once again just before we clear. Okay, so we're getting prepared to clear. We're going to open our fan pattern wide open, 2 turns out on the volume. We're going to stay away from the panel about 4 to 5 inches, and we're going to do a 50 or 60% overlap on the clear and keep that edge of that clear wet. So I left this footage in this video on purpose. I'm having some issues with my gun. It's not getting constant air, so it's spitting, and nothing's spitting out of the gun, but it's can cause a problem with the quality of your clear coat and how it lays down. So it just goes to show you that there's a million things that can happen that can go wrong when you're painting something or repairing something. You just got to be willing to and able to overcome those issues and know how to do it. That's the key. So I'm continuing on with this first coat, and we want to do a medium to wet coat on the first coat. And the second coat will be our finish and flow coat. But you can still see I'm fighting the gun a little bit. It's gotten a lot better, but there's still something that's causing it to sputter just a little bit, and it's very frustrating, but I'm going to get that fixed in between coats. So everything we do in the painting process, like prepping a panel so clear sticks and paint sticks, we clean it so there's no contaminants on it so it doesn't react to the paint. All of the things we do are to eliminate problems when we're painting and doing a repair. So you always have to have that mindset of there is a possibility something can go wrong, and what am I going to do if it does go wrong? What am I going to do if something's spitting out of my gun, or if the air pressure's not right, or if there's a contaminant on the panel and my paint reacts to it? Am I going to stop? Am I going to redo it? Am I going to start over? So those are the things that we all keep in mind when we're doing a repair. So I'm actually really glad that this happened, and I could show you that it doesn't always go smoothly. It doesn't always go perfect. In fact, sometimes you get dust or dirt in your paint. Sometimes there's orange peel. Sometimes your gun malfunctions. Things happen. Okay, so I'm into the final coat here. We're laying down the flow coat. The gun's still acting a little funny. It's spitting a little bit, sputtering. So I'm having to adjust my spray. And what I've done is I slowed down just a little bit to adapt to the circumstances that are going on. And it'll come out nice, and we'll work it out at the end. But just know that you have to be able to overcome these issues. Okay, let's take a close look at this panel and see how we did. If you look close, you can see the clear coat is flat, but there is some dust in this panel. I don't see a whole lot of orange peel or anything else. How did your panel turn out? If you have some orange peel or some dust, don't worry. Right here is a video that's going to show you exactly how to wet sand and buff that to a high gloss and get the finish that you're looking for. Do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. I appreciate you watching. We'll see you next time.